Chapter 1. The invisible addiction. Most people think addiction looks obvious. They imagine drugs, alcohol, gambling, but one of the most powerful addictions in modern history doesn't look dangerous at all. In fact, most people carry it in their pockets. They wake up with it, check it before getting out of bed, reach for it whenever they feel bored, and often fall asleep with it still in their hands. The average person now consumes more information in a single day than previous generations consumed in weeks. Videos, notifications, messages, news, entertainment, endless streams of stimulation. And while this constant flood of content feels harmless, it's quietly changing the way your brain works. Many people blame themselves for lacking discipline, for struggling to lose weight, for constantly feeling tired, for being unable to focus. But what if the real problem isn't laziness? What if your brain has been trapped inside a reward system it was never designed to handle? Chapter 2. What dopamine actually does. Dopamine has become one of the most misunderstood chemicals in the world. People often call it the pleasure chemical, but that's only part of the story. Dopamine is actually about anticipation, motivation, pursuit. It pushes you toward things your brain believes are valuable. Thousands of years ago, this system helped humans survive. Finding food triggered dopamine. Finding shelter triggered dopamine. Solving problems triggered dopamine. The brain rewarded behaviors that increased survival, and because rewards were uncertain, humans had to work for them. A successful hunt could take hours. Finding food could require enormous effort. Rewards were delayed, which meant the brain became good at patience, good at persistence, good at effort. But modern life changed the rules. Now rewards arrive instantly, and that's where the problem begins. Chapter 3. The age of instant rewards. For the first time in human history, people can access powerful rewards with almost no effort. Hungry? Order food. Bored? Open social media. Lonely? Send a message. Need entertainment? Thousands of videos appear instantly. Every swipe, every notification, every piece of new content creates a tiny dopamine response. By itself, that's not dangerous. The danger comes from repetition, because the brain starts receiving reward after reward after reward, without effort, without patience, without delay, and eventually the brain begins adapting. What once felt exciting becomes normal. What once felt satisfying becomes boring. The brain raises its expectation for stimulation, and this creates a dangerous cycle. More stimulation is needed to feel the same reward. Chapter 4. Why everything feels boring now. Have you ever noticed something strange? You can spend hours scrolling videos, yet struggle to read 10 pages of a book. You can watch content for hours, yet feel mentally exhausted when trying to study. You can check your phone hundreds of times, yet find exercise difficult to start. This isn't a character flaw, it's a neurological consequence. The brain becomes accustomed to high-speed stimulation, fast rewards, constant novelty, immediate entertainment. Compared to that, real life feels slow. The gym feels slow. Reading feels slow. Learning feels slow. Building a business feels slow. Fat loss feels slow. Everything that creates meaningful results requires delayed gratification, and delayed gratification begins feeling uncomfortable to a brain trained on instant rewards. The result? People lose motivation for the very things that would improve their lives. Chapter 5. The link between dopamine and fat gain. This is where fitness enters the story. Because dopamine doesn't only affect attention, it affects eating behavior too. Food companies understand this extremely well. Highly processed foods are engineered to be rewarding. Salt, sugar, fat, flavor, texture, all designed to maximize pleasure. And when combined with a brain already overstimulated by constant dopamine triggers, self-control becomes harder. People don't always eat because they're hungry. Often they eat because they're seeking stimulation, seeking comfort, seeking reward. The same reward system driving endless scrolling can also drive overeating. And over time, this creates a cycle of weight gain, low energy, and frustration. Chapter 6. Why you're always tired. One of the strangest consequences of dopamine overload is exhaustion. People assume stimulation creates energy, but constant stimulation actually drains mental resources. The brain was designed for periods of effort, followed by recovery, focus, followed by rest. But modern life never stops. Notifications continue. Content never ends. Entertainment is available every second. The brain remains engaged almost constantly, and eventually, mental fatigue begins to appear, not because you're doing too much physical work, but because your attention system never gets a chance to recover. The modern world has created an environment unlike anything humans evolved to handle. An environment filled with endless rewards, endless stimulation, endless distraction. And while it feels harmless, it may be quietly rewiring your brain in ways that affect your focus, your fitness, your energy, and your future. The greatest threat to your fitness may not be the food you eat, it may be the rewards you consume all day long. Chapter 7. The good news. Your brain can recover. If everything you've heard so far sounds depressing, there's good news. The brain is incredibly adaptable. The same brain that can be conditioned toward distraction can also be retrained toward focus. The same dopamine system that has been hijacked by modern technology can be restored. But first, you need to understand something important. The goal is not to eliminate dopamine. That's impossible, and it wouldn't even be healthy. Dopamine is essential for motivation. Without it, you'd have no drive to improve your life. The real goal is to stop letting artificial rewards dominate your attention. Because when artificial rewards become stronger than real-world rewards, life starts falling apart. The gym becomes harder than scrolling. Cooking becomes harder than ordering food. Learning becomes harder than entertainment. And long-term goals lose their appeal. Recovery begins when you reverse that imbalance. Chapter 8: Why You Must Relearn Boredom. One of the biggest casualties of modern life is boredom. Humans used to experience boredom regularly, waiting in line, walking alone, sitting quietly, thinking today boredom barely exists. The moment boredom appears, people immediately eliminate it. They grab their phone, open an app, watch a video, check notifications. But boredom serves a purpose. Boredom creates space for thinking, creativity, reflection, planning, problem solving. Many of your best ideas arrive when stimulation disappears. The problem is, most people never allow their brains to reach that point. They interrupt boredom instantly. And over time, the brain forgets how to function without constant stimulation. Learning to sit with boredom again is one of the most powerful forms of mental training available today. Chapter 9: The secret that high performers understand. Look at elite athletes, elite entrepreneurs, elite performers. They all understand something most people overlook. Success is not built on constant excitement, it's built on repetition. Most meaningful achievements are boring. Training repeatedly, practicing fundamentals, following routines, doing the same things over and over again. Social media shows the highlights, the victories, the celebrations, but it rarely shows the thousands of ordinary moments that created those results. The modern brain craves novelty, but mastery requires repetition, and repetition only becomes possible when you stop depending on constant dopamine spikes for motivation. This is why discipline becomes a superpower, because it allows action even when excitement disappears. Chapter 10: How the dopamine trap affects fat loss. Most people think fat loss is only about calories, but behavior drives calories, and behavior is heavily influenced by dopamine. Think about modern eating habits. Many people eat while watching videos, eat while scrolling, eat while working, eat while distracted. Food becomes combined with entertainment, and this creates a powerful reward loop. The brain starts associating eating with stimulation, not hunger, not nutrition. Reward: this makes overeating far easier, because you're not only consuming food, you're consuming multiple sources of dopamine simultaneously. The result is a cycle of cravings, more snacking, more mindless eating, and eventually more frustration. Many people believe they lack willpower, when in reality, their reward system is simply overwhelmed. Chapter 11: Why Real Life Feels Harder Than the Internet. The Internet compresses rewards. Real life stretches them out. Online, you get instant feedback, instant entertainment, instant novelty. Real life works differently. Muscle takes months to build. Fat loss takes time. Skills require repetition. Success often arrives slowly. The problem is that many brains have become calibrated for internet speed, and when reality moves slower, people quit. Not because they aren't capable, because their expectations have changed. The most successful people are often the ones willing to accept delayed rewards. They're willing to work for outcomes they cannot see immediately, and in today's world, that ability is becoming increasingly rare. Chapter 12: Rebuilding Your Dopamine System. Escaping the dopamine trap doesn't require disappearing into the mountains. It starts with small changes. Create periods without stimulation. Walk without your phone. Eat without screens. Train without constant entertainment. Spend time in silence. Allow your brain to experience normal life again. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Things may feel slower, less exciting, even boring. That's normal. Your brain is recalibrating. Over time, something remarkable happens. Simple things become rewarding again. A workout feels satisfying. A walk feels refreshing. A conversation feels meaningful. Progress begins feeling valuable, and the need for constant stimulation starts fading. The modern world is fighting for your attention every second of every day. Your focus is being pulled in 1,000 directions. Your reward system is constantly being challenged, and your discipline is being tested like never before. But you are not powerless. The brain that adapted to distraction can adapt to focus. The brain that became addicted to stimulation can learn to appreciate effort again. And when that happens, everything changes. Your fitness improves, your energy returns, your attention sharpens, and the things that once felt impossible start becoming part of who you are. The dopamine trap promises quick rewards but steals long-term happiness. The moment you stop chasing constant stimulation, you give your life back to yourself.